Welcome into Extra Innings on News 10 Plus. I am Taylor Gattoni, joined by the voices of the Lansing Lugnuts, Jesse Goldberg-Strassler and Adam Jaksa. Welcome back to Extra Innings.
It's good to be back right in the middle of a nice homestand.
And getting back from Fort Wayne, yes. And there was some pretty big plays that happened over this past series, and a very first for the Lugnuts.
We'll talk defense, but I think we need to start by feeling grand about the offense.
Who doesn't love home runs and who doesn't love offense? Aribio Angeles, a former Fort Wayne Tin Cap at that, he hit the first Grand Slam of the year. The Lugnuts hadn't had one since September of last season, and he came up with a big swing to Home Run Hill.
And it's not just, do you want to continue with that,
That
Jesse?
turned around the series, because we had lost the first two games and Fort Wayne had hit a Grand Slam, and suddenly that sparked the Nuts into winning 3 consecutive against the Tin Caps.
And we love that for the Nuts go Nuts. And it wasn't just getting the Grand Slam or getting some of those home runs in. We were stopping home runs as well.
Yeah, the defense really stepped it up throughout this homestand. But Colby Thomas on Sunday, first he homered in the first inning, and then in the 8th inning, Colby had one of the great athletic plays of the year. You see Aribio wearing the Lugnuts olive burger uniforms, which looked so great on Thursday. That really got things going. Thomas is bareheaded following the trail. You see there's the Pikachu home run baseball cap. So Aribio got things going with the power and the Grand Slam, and once you put on the Pikachu hat, you've got the receiving line of everybody waiting. But let's talk defense now, because the Lugnuts were not just hitting home runs, they were taking them away. Colby Thomas is highly athletic.
Colby Thomas, he was hitting home runs himself, but also he was able to take one away. And this play defensively, Jesse and I were talking about it on the air yesterday, maybe the best defensive play of the season. Because you have to go up over that ledge there in right field, extremely difficult, and he was able to make the catch.
Love Jacob Wilson pointing out to him with a little bit of a tip of the cap. It's exceptional. That is not soft behind you.
No.
Where he put himself back to the wall and then gave that flying leap straight upward, and otherwise Nathan Martorella has himself a 3-run homer.
Sometimes you have to do what you got to do to get that.
And the fun thing is seeing what these guys are capable of doing.
All right, so someone who is showing us what they've got is Jacob Wilson, right? So a new addition to the team.
Yeah, so the shortstop, you saw him tip his cap, point out he knows a little something about great defense.
Yeah, we tipped our cap to him many times over the week. I mean, he was helping turning double plays. He made a great defensive play behind second, sliding behind the bag and throwing over to first. The bat started to perk up yesterday as well, so he looks like a first-round talent.
This is 17-year-old Ethan Salas. He thinks that he's got himself a base hit. He does not. That is ridiculous from the sixth overall pick in this past July's draft.
That is incredible, seeing all of that they can do, and you reminded me how young they are.
Well, not very many players are 17. Ethan Salas is the only one.
A little bit
and
of
he
an
was just
exception
called
right
up to
there.
Fort Wayne. Exactly. The youngest guy that I had seen in the league, and this was back when we were single A, not high A, was Julio Urias, who's now in the Dodgers starting rotation. There's Wilson sprawling, spinning, firing to get him. So yes, Ethan Salas just joining the Midwest League at 17. He's a national sensation as the Padres' top prospect.
All right, I do want to switch gears a little bit to kind of get into the excitement with the Lugnuts recently. One of the big ones, a very, very big name, Joey Chestnut. Can we talk about him?
We can, because you saw Aribio and the Lugnuts on Thursday dressed up as the Lansing Olive Burgers. It was Lansing Facts Day. It was a Thirsty Thursday. It was a $1 hot dog day because we had the #1 eater in the world, and you had a front row seat.
I did. I went down there and got a video. He was right up on top of the dugout on the third base line. We were in the throw-up zone.
Oh, good.
There was a couple of gags, but nothing came out.
You've heard of splash zones, but yeah, gag zone, okay.
But I think, what, he had 13 or 14?
13.
My goodness. And the olive burgers were packed with mayonnaise and everything, and he took them down. So
The man's a legend.
That's an athlete right there, too. And you typically eating hot dogs. So we had Claudia Sella there from Studio 10 asking him, have you ever had an olive burger before? He said no. He said he never ate one before. I was like, good luck, Joey.
On his birthday, puts away 20 birthday cakes. No, the great thing about Joey is, and so this was, for all of us, our first time meeting him.
Yeah.
He shows up, and one of the directives that he gave was, if there's a set time for me to sign autographs, I do not care. I want to meet all the fans.
Oh.
And so once he was done, and the competition was before the game, he defeated the Lansing eating legend, and he ate his 13 olive burgers in 5 minutes. And then from the second inning through the end of the game, he was doing a meet and greet and signing autographs. I mean, second inning to the end of the game, had patience and time for everybody. There was a gentleman I saw that he signed his hot dog, and then the guy ate the hot dog in front of him. Oh, there were moments that Joey's not going to forget, and our fans aren't going to forget. He's an American icon, and he lived up and exceeded all expectations.
And the Lansing Lugnuts just ate that up. They love Joey.
Yes, we did eat that up.
Literally.
That's awesome. Okay, we also want to talk about some of the Lugnuts who moved up to the bigs.
Yeah, if you don't mind, let's start sad and let's go happy.
Okay.
Because on August the 11th, we had 2 different former Lugnuts make the major leagues. And I say sad because it was looking like a great story at the time. Hagen Danner had been a catcher and a DH for us, a home run hitter, but he had struggled with the bat. The Blue Jays converted him to pitching, and he got called up to the major leagues to relieve for Toronto, and he's injured in 7 pitches. So we wish him well. Then the other guy is a guy who was with us last year, and his future is bright for Oakland.
Yeah, Lawrence Butler, a guy that, again, was hitting home runs, was making big plays defensively for the Lugnuts last year, made his debut. He's got a couple of hits. His first hit was a double. So to think now that Lawrence Butler and Tyler Soderstrom were in Lansing last year and both have ascended to the big leagues this year, from high A to the majors, pretty cool.
All right, we love to cheer on the Lansing Lugnuts. Look at them go. Okay, anything else you want to add on that, Jesse?
181 Lugnuts have now made the major leagues.
181. We're going to keep counting and keep talking about them.
That's my job.
There you go. That is your job, and that's what we're doing right here on Extra Innings. Now, we want to keep moving this forward because, believe it or not, the season's coming to an end. 25 games. Is it home games or just 25 games left in the season?
I believe it's 24, and it's
24
4
now.
series of 6. So we have this week against Great Lakes. We go on the road at Dayton. Then we come back to host West Michigan, on the road at Lake County. Season's over. Adam calls Central Michigan football.
Like that. Boom, boom, boom.
A month left to go, basically.
Yeah.
So you got 2 weeks to come see Lansing, and the crowds have been splendid all season long. We had big crowds, the Joey Chestnut crowd. Yesterday was our largest Sunday crowd of the year. So
There you go. And you broke other records, too.
That's right.
Not a big shock right there. Got to have people come out to Jackson Field.
Well, and a good reason to come out, if you don't mind bobbling the bobble, this coming homestand.
Bobbling the bobble.
I mean, bobble
There
that
he is.
bobble. So we have Big Lug in his Oakland Athletics uniform, wearing the green and gold. So go green, go gold, go purple, instead of necessarily go green, go white. I think that it looks pretty good with the purple.
He's like a
Don't zoom
little
in,
lug right here, though.
Don't zoom in too tight. Those eyes will get you.
Yeah, I'll turn the stare
boy.
away.
All right. Anything else you want to add about people checking out the last few series of the Lansing Lugnuts, making the most of the summer?
Yeah, I think that now is when the weather gets great, right?
Oh,
We're
yeah,
through
that
the
too.
worst of the summer heat, so the crowds have been wonderful. We are home for 12 more games this week, and then coming up after the week after that, right? As we wrap up the month of August and look towards September. So there are still tickets available. There are great games available. Bobble, bobble, bobble. And I think it's worth saying, before baseball is done here in Lansing, let's take advantage of this.
All right, and you know, a lot of us here at News 10 will be taking advantage of heading out to Jackson Field this Wednesday, so you might see a few of us, but we're excited to be there cheering on the Lansing Lugnuts.
Yeah, we'll roll out the red carpet.
We
It's gonna be
expect to
great.
win every time you guys come. We get a victory.
Well, me and Crystal were saying we've got a good streak. We've got to keep it going.
That's right.
All right, well, we also have to cheer on the Lansing Lugnuts. Are you ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Go Nuts!
Until next time, thanks for joining Extra Innings.